Welcome to Frances Reads Her Bible. Today I'm moving on to Numbers chapter 6. Well, I'm way past this, but I felt the importance of going back to this chapter. So, these are the rules for the Nazarites. The Lord commanded Moses to give the following instructions to the people of Israel. Any of you, male or female, who make a special vow to become a Nazarite and dedicate yourself to the Lord shall abstain from wine and beer. You shall not drink any kind of drink made from grapes, or eat any grapes or raisins. As long as you're a Nazarite, you shall not eat anything that comes from a grapevine, not even the seeds or skins of grapes. As long as you're under the Nazarite vow, you must not cut your hair or shave. You are bound by the vow for the full time that you are dedicated to the Lord, and you shall let your hair grow. Mm. These are who the Nazarites are. Nazarites are not Nazarenes. Nazarenes are people from Nazareth or Nazareth. That's different. These are the Nazarites. Nazarites are like in Igbo culture, people will call Osu. Osu are the outcasts or the people that are dedicated to gods or ran into a god for separation, for protection, or vow themselves to some god or deity. Those are Osu in Igbo culture, but in Hebrew culture and relating to God, the Creator, they are called Nazarites. And some Nazarite examples are people like Samson. Samson was a Nazarite. Um, Prophet Ezekiel. Then we have okay, maybe I'm going too far. But then one thing I've realized is that Nazarites, in order to maintain their hair, they had their hair in locks. And by locks, you could say dreadlocks, because their hair was matted. You can't comb. Imagine if you became a Nazarite for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. You can't comb through your hair. You can't, and the hair has to grow because you can't use heat. You can't cut it. So they left them in locks. And it's so sad that in Africa, I don't know, maybe just Nigeria, when people see people with dreadlocks, they call them evil, or they get some evil deity or witchcraft or something. They see them as never do wells, miscreants, hoodlums and all that. So God said your hair is a sign of your dedication to God, and so you must not defile yourself by going near a corpse, not even that of your father, mother, brother, or sister. As long as you're a Nazarite, you are consecrated to the Lord. If your consecrated hair is defiled, the hair is a sign of the vow of being a Nazarite. So when you see the locks, the long matted long hair, Nazarite. If your consecrated hair is defiled because you are right beside someone who suddenly dies, you must wait 7 days and then shave your head. And so you become ritually clean. On the eighth day, you shall bring 2 doves or 2 pigeons to the priest at the entrance of the tent of the Lord's presence. Another interesting fact is that people believe that King Solomon had dreadlocks, he had locks, because when he met the Queen of Sheba, the way he was described, as in his hair was matted, and all that locks. And then even in what was it, King Songs of Solomon, there was a poem he wrote about locks and whatnot. Yes. And then Prophet Samuel, people believe he had dreadlocks as well, locks, because his mom said his hair was never going to be cut. So people believe he was a Nazarite. So he was vowed to God. His hair, imagine growing that old and your hair has never been cut. How will he be combing it or brushing? People leave it in locks, you know. And then Prophet Ezekiel in the Bible was also believed to have had locks as well. It's crazy when people see pastors, prophets, priests, and whatnot, men of God or women of God who have locks, and they say, "Oh, this person cannot be a man of God. This person cannot belong to God. This person is this person." That. But the Nazarites who belong to God had locks. You know, so I don't like most Africans see people who have locks as devilish. Because even then, most of our ancestors had locks. Some of them had locks before the coming of the white man, and they made us shave our heads off, making us believe that our hair was bad. to look responsible before them. We have to have clean shaven hair and not forests on our heads. You know? So the priest shall offer one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to perform the ritual of purification for you because of your contact with the corpse. Remember, cleanliness is very important to God. So on the same day, you shall reconsecrate your hair. Like I said, that hair is a sign of the vow, that dedication to God, that consecration. And according to 12, rededicate to the Lord your time as a Nazarite. The previous period of time doesn't count because your consecrated hair was defiled, as in the sign of the covenant was defiled. As a repayment offering, you shall bring a 1 year old lamb. When you complete your Nazarite vow, you shall perform this ritual. You shall go to the entrance of the tent and present to the Lord 3 animals without any defects: a 1 year old male lamb for a burnt offering, a 1 year old ewe lamb for a sin offering, and a ram for a fellowship offering. You shall offer a basket of, well, the necessary things according to all those sin offering, fellowship offering, and whatnot. Then in 16, the priest shall present all this to the Lord and offer the sin offering and the burnt offering. He shall sacrifice the ram to the Lord as a fellowship offering and offer it to the basket of bread. He shall also present the offerings of grain and wine at the entrance of the tent. You Nazarite shall shave off your head and put it on the fire on which the fellowship offering is being burned. Like you are burning the hair, because that, remember, that was a sign of the vow, the consecration. So as it's burning, it means it's over, it's done. You fulfilled your vow. That's what I believe. Then when the shoulder of the ram is bald, the priest shall take it and put it together with one thick loaf of bread and one thin cake from the basket into the hands of the Nazarite. Next, the priest shall present them as a special gift to the Lord. They are a secret offering for the priest in addition to the breast and the leg of the ram, which by law belong to the priests. After that, the Nazarites may drink wine. So imagine in the case of, so people also believe John the Baptist had dreadlocks. Well, then in the case of Samuel, whose mom said he was not going to cut his hair. Just imagine not cutting your hair from childhood. Then Samson, they all had locks. I don't know why we demonize locks, dreadlocks. When we see people, lot of growing up, when people see people with dreadlocks, rascal, you know, never do well, ragamuffin, and all that. Anyways, you can see here in the Bible that people had locks. 21. These are the regulations for you Nazarites. But if you promise an offering beyond what your vow requires you to give, you must fulfill exactly the promise you made. The Lord commanded Moses to tell Aaron and his sons to use the following words in blessing the people of Israel. I think there's a church that uses this as their closing um blessing. May the Lord bless you and take care of you. May the Lord be kind and gracious to you. May the Lord look on you with favor and give you peace. This is very nice prayer. And the Lord said, if they pronounce my name as a blessing upon the people of Israel, I will bless them. So if you pronounce God's name as a blessing, blessings come to you. You know, may the Lord be kind and gracious to you and all that. May the Lord look on you with favor and give you peace. This prayer looks little, but it's a very good prayer. Looking at it now, it is. I'm going to write it down somewhere and use it. So you see, the Nazarites are not Nazarenes. Nazarenes are people from Nazareth. Nazarites are people who have taken a vow like the Osu people in the Igbo caste system. You know, they are dedicated to God, they belong to God. hmm So, and people believe they were in luck. They had locks, dreadlocks. You know, their hair were in locks. Because how do you manage that? And as always, these are my thoughts. I'm no position in church today. God bless you, keep you, and may His light shine upon you. Till next time, bye.